Movie hitting theaters nationwide that looks like an edge-of-your-seat thriller with an important story about the persecution of Christians in the Middle East. It's called Infidel, and it's based on an amalgam of true stories. It stars our next guest, noted actor Jim Caviezel. Great to have you with us. Tell us about this movie, Jim, why you decided to make it. What was the important message for you?
Well, to cut it straight, it was a well-written script by our director, who I worked with on The Stoning of Soraya M. I knew he had great knowledge about Iran. He grew up there. His parents were Iranian. He's a Christian convert. He understood what it was like to convert to the Christian faith. It could cost you your life. Second part of that is this is a guy in the story. It was a well-executed thriller. I mean, that's what it was, and it wasn't some candy-ass Christian stupid film. It was really what is really going on today. He stands up for his faith. He's a college professor. He's brought there to speak on Jesus, and then they kind of marginalize him into this place of Jesus as a prophet, and he says, oh boy, I can't go there with you. He's the Son of God. And then at that point the movie takes off, and they try to get him to deny his faith.
And he won't do it. And I mean, it looks like a thrill ride. You are someone that is very vocal about your faith, and you're talking about that in the context of what's going on now in 2020. I mean, this movie gives you a good opportunity to get back out there and to share. What is your concern today about the role of faith and what people of faith should be doing?
Well, okay, so first of all, my job is to get people in the theater. Why should I go? One, it's a great film. Second of all, how is this relevant today? Well, it's relevant because we have this thing called cancel culture, and if Christians don't watch it, it will be canceling Christianity as well, because a lot of our pastors, okay, our bishops, our priests, they're laying right over. They let their churches being burned, all right? How do we know that? Well, it's right there in the news. Statues being ripped down. They don't say anything. And I watched a movie that Mel Gibson did, Braveheart, when you have the English who's the bad guys against the Scots, but the real bad guys were the guys that were collaborating, all right? That's why we're in this situation right now. We can't go to churches. We can't go into our church. Well, why? Because they could get contaminated, right? So then why are we on airplanes? I have friends that have committed suicide. I have seven SEAL buddies that have lost 7 of their friends of committing suicide. And would it have helped to being able to get into a church, especially during this time? Absolutely. And is it good for mental illness? Yes, it is. And so the collaborators in our faith, all right, this is where the persecution starts. You've got to have guys inside your faith that won't stand up to the governors, that will not stand up to the mayors. And that's why the Gospels are very much alive right now. Okay, so there are many of us, I got to play Jesus. Some of us love Peter or Paul, but there are many of us right now that are flat out Judases, okay? Or they're Pontius Pilates, or they're the Pharisees, okay? And it's a bloody shame if you can't tell the difference between a priest, a bishop, or a politician. It's really sad, but this is called lukewarmness. And Christ has a very special place for them, and they know it.
Well, we're out of time, and there's so many different ways that we could go there, but it is important for us to be sharing our faith and serving others in this really difficult time and speaking out. Jim, thank you very much for being with us. Check out the movie Infidel.
Thank you.
That's it for us from here in D.C. We'll see you back here tomorrow.